guys, what is going on? Blossom's back. Welcome back to another episode of Top Drives. Now, before we get into today's episode, I do want to give a little shout out to our little segment on the YouTube channel, which is where viewers, you guys kind of send in pictures to me of your diecast cars while watching my videos. Now, I got a really funny submission. So a couple weeks ago, not a couple weeks, a couple days, maybe a week ago, I had a submission coming from Ben. You guys might know Ben from my Discords and Patreon server. So Ben sent me a photo with his two little Trabants right in front of one of my videos in front of his monitor. So I got another submission from a guy called MarkAng01 or MarkAng01. I don't know what is how to pronounce the Instagram username, but I'm gonna put a photo right there. I think that's goals. That's friendship goals. Right there, not gonna lie. So shout out to Mark Ang. Thank you so much for submitting your photo for the segment. He is showcasing his two Trabants while watching my video covering the rares, while I gave a shout out to Ben with his two Trabants. I genuinely think that's amazing. Shout out to that. If anyone else has two of those cars, feel free to send it over because that's freaking awesome. But anyway, guys, let's get into the meat and potato of this video, okay? And I want to go through a little bit of self-reflection, okay? All right. I want to go through a little bit of self-reflection because a couple days ago, we did a 1 mil pack opening, an impromptu, peer-pressured 1 mil opening, 1.4 million actually, where Val and Wyatt coerced me into opening some packs. And in that opening, we got the Porsche 911 GT3 Touring, which you would have been staring at the start since the start of this video. So when I pulled the Porsche 911 GT3, I ran around like a monkey, I jumped around, I screamed at the top of my lungs, I fell down to the floor, and I prayed to the beings that be. I'm not religious, but I like to pray to Yay sometimes as a joke. And I just had a really good time, like unpacking the GT3 Touring sparked raw emotion in me that I have not felt in unpacking a car in Top Drives for a very long time. Unpacking a car like this has gotten me a lot more excited than, unpacking many legendaries in Top Drives. I can pull a bunch of legends. I can pull a Bugatti Chiron, and I probably wouldn't love it as much. I probably wouldn't have as much raw emotion as, if I was going to pull the 911 GT3 Touring. This is one of my most wanted epics currently. I mean, at the time, I obviously have it now, so I probably have a new most wanted epic now. But at the time when I unpacked this, it was one of my most, if not my most wanted epic. And here's one thing that I found really interesting, because I posted the video of me opening this. I was really happy, and there's this one dude in the comments saying, dude, like, let me try and find it verbatim. I want to see if I can find it verbatim. I probably don't. Yeah, over here. So the guy's just like, man, you really gotta chill with your reactions. That's cringe AF. Look, I'm gonna be completely honest. I understand why I get comments like these sometimes, because you guys don't understand. To put it frankly, you guys don't understand. You think that because I am an influencer, that I make YouTube videos, that I over dramatize my reactions when I get something that I really like for views, right? For laughs, all that kind of stuff. But the reality is, guys, I don't really do that anymore. Some of you guys might be laughing, but think about it. Think about the last 5 million in cash that I've opened in pack openings. We've gotten a couple of epics here and there. Did I even celebrate any of those epics? No. We pulled a couple 65s. We pulled a 75 Subaru, and I was just like, yeah, that's cool. That's okay. Hey, stuff like that. The thing about me is that I don't over dramatize for the hell of it. I don't do it for the video. I don't do it for the laughs. I don't do it for the views. You can choose to believe me or not, but that is who I am. I am crazy. People call me autistic. People call me some things that I can't say on YouTube, but or in nice ways, in nicer terms, golden retriever energy, right? This is genuinely how I react when I pull something that I absolutely freaking love. I mean, this is like one of my most wanted epics at the time when I pulled it. Obviously, I'm gonna run around like a monkey. This is just who I am. This is how I react to things. I remember many years ago when I was still studying in uni, I had a degree, or at least I was studying to have a degree in BFA film acting. And while I was in New York, I was looking for, I know this is a long tangent, but I hope that you enjoy the stories that I'm telling you. But when I was in film acting, I remember I was in New York and I got an email I was in the car with my friends, and I got an email. I was just refreshing my emails on my phone. Got an email saying, "Oh, you got casted. Like they saw my audio tapes and my video tapes and all that kind of stuff, my portfolios, and I got casted for a short little web story in New York." And the moment I read that email, I started like spazzing out. Like I was like, what's the word I'm looking for? Like when a demon takes over your body, Like I was possessed, right? I was jumping around, screaming around. Mind you, I was in a car with my friends. My friend was driving. I mean, I was a liability at that point, right? You shouldn't be running around and screaming like a monkey, in moments like these. But the reality is, that is who I am. That is who I am. So if you think that's cringe, like I said, I might kind of understand it because you might think it's cringe because I'm just trying to do it for views. No, it's genuinely who I am. And all I can say is that if you don't enjoy it, you can always just not watch my videos. But anyway, the other thing I want to talk about, okay, so we're going from one point to another, is, one thing I said when I pulled that GT3 was I sat back down, I calmed down, and I had an epiphany. I told the boys in the YouTube video, I told the boys, or in the Discord stream, but you can hear it in the YouTube video. I told Val, I told Wyatt, I was like, wow, I can't remember the last time I did that. I can't remember the last time I unpacked a car that made me feel that kind of way, that ran around, that screamed as high as I could. Here's another thing. I try not to scream as high as I possibly can anymore. Becoming a gym instructor, using voice, my voice is ridiculously important for me to teach class, right? For me to give out cues, for me to give out advice, recommendations, suggestions, all that kind of stuff. And I try and preserve my voice whenever I can. So when I raise it, I really, really want something, or I'm really angry. Either way, And I sat back down and told the boys, wow, I don't really react that way anymore. And, it kind of made me lead to making this video. I want to highlight the epics that genuinely bring out raw emotion from me. What are the cars that will genuinely make me just scream in excitement, right? And, this is basically like my favorite epics in the game. My absolute favorite epics in the game. And we're going to start with these two right here, the Porsche 911 Carrera 4S, as well as the Mercedes-Benz E63 AMG. Both these cars have really close ties to me, I guess, really sentimental ties to me. So, an easy way to put it is that every single car that you see that I have wishlisted here are cars that I will genuinely jump out of my seat if I ever unpack them for the first time, right? We pulled this for like the third time in the same opening where I pulled the GT3. Obviously, I didn't scream or shout anything because I pulled it before, and it's the same thing with the E63. I've pulled this before. If I pull it again, I'm not gonna jump out of my seat, okay? But yeah, why are these two among some of my absolute favorite epics? Well, the first one is the Porsche 911 Carrera 4S. I've said it in multiple videos in the past. This is a car that my grandmother used to own, and honestly speaking, this is like just my favorite car in my family. My grandma don't have it anymore, just saying. Like, I have very fond memories of this car, but not very many, because I think she sold it when I was 6, or 7. One of my favorite memories about this car was that, I was super young, and it was already, like, my favorite car in, like, my grandparents' house. Like, we had a couple of cars, and the 911 was my absolute favorite. And I remember, I think I overheard, I think my mom told me that, my grandma was selling the Porsche, and I was like, what? Like, I was 6, I was 7, and I remember this so clearly. I protested in a way where I stood in my grandma's garage with a bucket on my head, and I was holding a broom. Because I think at the time I was watching Codename Kids Next Door. Like, that was like the TV show that I want to watch. And I really wanted to make a stand, I wanted to protest to keep the car. And I remember it was the most useless thing when I think about it. Like, what was I going to do? Sitting in front of the car with a broom and a bucket on my head. You think that was going to save it? Oh, I wish. But yeah, so this just reminds me of, my childhood. It's like, my grandma had this, and I absolutely love it. And if you want to see a photo of it, I tried to find high and low. I only have one photo. It's not very clear. I blurred out the car plate for privacy's sake. And here you go. So here's a photo. She had it in purple. Beautiful car. So yeah, honestly, one of the cars I'm definitely going to keep, not going to fuse away. E63. Well, this one's pretty obvious. This is a W212 generation line of the Mercedes E-Class. I own a W212 myself, and because of that reason, every single W212 is family to me. So yeah, definitely want to keep that around. So anyway, let's keep on moving because there are about 34 epics, I would say, that I genuinely love. And, you know, out of the 34, even less of them I don't even own. So, you know, if you don't like seeing me jumping out of my seat and running around like a monkey, then don't worry, because it's not going to happen too often because there are not many cars left that I really want in the epic ranks. Like, obviously when it comes to legendaries, there's still a lot, but when it comes to epics, it's a bit less. BMW M2. Okay, BMW. The F87 and the G80 are probably my favorite generations of BMWs ever. Okay, I love the G80s and I love the F87s, and you know, this M2 is just gorgeous. Everything about it is gorgeous. I think this is genuinely one of the most beautiful isn't the right word, cute. You know, everyone thinks that the Mazda MX-5 is like the cutest car in the world with little pop-up uwu headlights and stuff. That's not really my taste. I've always been like either an American muscle or German, you know, power kind of car guy. And the BMW M2, that's my definition of a really cute kawaii car. This is my Mazda MX-5. You know what I mean? I freaking love this thing. We'll see a couple more M2s when we move up the line as well. So we've seen 3 so far. And I'll be honest with you, there's going to be a lot of patterns over here. You're going to be seeing a lot of Porsches. You're going to be seeing a lot of Mercs. You're going to be seeing a lot of Dodges. And, you know, I'm going to keep it real, man. These are my favorite epics. So there's going to be a pattern because these are the cars of my favorite brands. The models of my favorite brands. Here we go! Porsche 911 GT3. The first one that I do not own. You bet your ass if I ever pull this car from a ceramic pack in a video, I will be laughing and jumping and just having a great time. I love the 996. I mean, 2 of my most controversial opinions when it comes to car design is A, Friday headlights. I love them. B, G80 grills. Those big BMW grills. I love them. I don't like the new BMW M5. Not a fan of that. But G80 grills are absolutely sexy. I love them. So yeah, a lot of 996s that you're gonna see in today's video, okay? And that's gonna be one of them. The photo in that car is gorgeous as well. I absolutely love it. And a nice photo genuinely does play a part for making some of my favorite epics and top drives. Again, this is coming from a sentimental standpoint, okay? This is coming from a personal standpoint. There are going to be many, many good epics that I don't have wishlisted here. Many epics that are going to be amazing. Here's another one. I forgot to wish this was this one, another F87. There are going to be many, many cars that are very, very useful, like the KTM Expo RR, for example. But the reality is, although I will get excited if I pull one, it won't hit the same. Okay, and I think that's the other reason why I love, you know, top drives so much and why I can play for so long. It's because I'm not really, you know, yeah, I'm playing to win, but also at the same time, I'm just playing for myself. You know, I just want to collect the cars that I absolutely freaking love. And here's one that's very, very special. This is a W212-2, also known as a W212-R. It is the facelift version of the W212 that we saw earlier at RQ66, the E63S. This is the AMG version of my own personal car, and I love it. I mean, this is just my car, obviously minus, you know, the engine and the AMG grill and the, you know, and all that kind of stuff, and the bumper and all that. But the lights are the same. You know, the chassis is also the same. Rims are different though. You know, I know that my car and this E63S, you know what else we share? We share the little wiper controls. We share the little gear shifters as well. Well, actually, yeah, the gear shift is here. The wiper controls are here. We share the same light controls, like when we want to turn on the high beam, the same buttons there too. The center console is a little bit different. Okay, fair. We have the same key. Yeah, with the same key. Where are my car keys? Oh, they're over there. I don't get them. I'm also not wearing pants, so I don't want to walk. But yeah, E63, man. I love that. That's it's my car. You know, I'm gonna call this my car until Hutch actually adds my car in top drives. I would love that. So I have a W212-R, but it's an E250, 0 to 60 of 7.1 seconds. But yeah, I love it. I absolutely love it. Okay, moving on the list. What are some other cars here that I absolutely freaking love? Cars that I just want to jump around for joy when I see them. When it comes to the 70s, Zagato was a close shout. I do think that this guy was amazing. Nah, I'm not gonna put it in. I do prefer the shooting brake a little bit more, which I do believe is an epic too. Here's another one, 911 GT3 RS. Same reason, fried egg headlights, absolutely jaw-dropping to me. Oh man, I mean, you'd be surprised, but I got a couple of these Vipers that I don't even have wishlisted. Here's another one, the Audi Sport Quattro. I think this is the second epic that I do not own that I have wishlisted. I've wanted this since the beginning of World Expo. I would love, my birthday is December 30th, if anybody wants to send one, but I would love to get the Hot Wheels Super Treasure Hunt of this. Is it the same spec? White rims, red body. It's also the Quattro. I mean, it's perfect. Absolutely perfect. I really want this. I'm not a fan of Audis in top drives, but I do appreciate Audis in real life. This is so sick. The photo is perfect. One of my favorite photos in top drives of one of the coolest cars I genuinely think exists in the game. And I remember Bayern Munich. So very random, but this is why I love these cars, because I can make all these little connections to other things that I love. I love Bayern Munich. All right, Bayern München. Right? It is the first football team that I've always supported because of Thomas Müller. And Bayern, if you don't know, they have a sponsorship deal with Audi. And I remember in one of their, I think this was back in like, I want to say 2019 maybe, or 2021. I was either right before or right after the pandemic. Bayern had this brand deal with Adidas, with Audi. They were showcasing their retro jerseys. And in their retro jerseys, they actually posed with a 1980s Audi Quattro. And I thought that was so freaking cool. So yeah. That's on the wish list too. I would love to pull that one day. Again, 996. So that speaks for itself. I genuinely want that. Here's one, the AMG S65. I mean, just drop for me, please. When it was an epic, it didn't drop for me. It went down to an ultra rare. It was an ultra rare for like 2 full years. I never unpacked it once. Now it's back as an epic, and I don't know if I'll ever get it. But I would love to get it. I would absolutely love to get it. One of the nicest S-classes of all time. If I remember correctly, this should be the W222. I love it. I love it so much. 222, 221, some of my favorite generations of S-Class for sure. We got the G63 as well. I mean, I'm a sucker for any kind of G-Wagon, man. I'll take any G-Wagon, so gotta have that to the wish list as well. I've unpacked the G-Wagon before, so if I pull it again, don't expect me to jump around, okay? Now, moving on to some other epics that I absolutely want. Okay, so all of these, you know, there's some good girls there. There you go, the F87, the M2CS. Ooh, it's so cute. It's so cute. It's such a beautiful car. CCR Yellowbird. I mean, the thing is, I never really celebrated hard when I got this, and I think the main reason was the fact that this is a campaign prize car. Kind of takes away the hype of it. You know, when you become a campaign prize car, there's this underlining feeling. There's no risk, you know? There's this underlining feeling where, oh, you know what? I'm gonna win this eventually, kind of thing, you know? But yeah, that's what the Yellowbird was. It wasn't very hyped when I got it, but it was always a car that I wanted. I really wish they made this a tri-series instead. I think it would have been a great little bloodbath as well. I think most people will disagree. I think most people are happy that this is a campaign prize car. It's so good. I mean, it's still so useful until today. I love that. We got a couple more Porsches here. 911 GT3 3.8, as well as the GT2 996, of course. I mean, like I said, fried egg headlights. We got the Mercedes AMG GLS 63. I love it. I just think it's really freaking cool. That's it. It's German Escalade. I love it. And I was thinking about wishlisting the CLA 250 4MATIC, but the reason why I'm not gonna wishlist this is because the one that is in top drives is the shooting brake, and not the coupe version. So if they had the CLA coupe, not the shooting brake version, I might have wishlisted that. For those of you that don't know, Giselle has a CLA. So, you know, when I look at this car, I think of my girlfriend, but also not really at the same time, because this is the shooting brake version. Also, this is the four-wheel drive version. Her CLA is the front-wheel drive. It's a CLA 180. No, 200. How do I not know this? I always get mixed up because it's a 180, 200, 250. It's not the 250 for sure. I think it's a TLA 200. I think she has a TLA 200. I don't think it's a 180. Yeah, it's a 200. It's a 200. I know this. It's a 200. Okay, a couple of Dodges coming up. SRT Hellcat. I mean, this will always be a channel legend, but not as much as the wide body. The wide body is, if I had to rank every single epic in the game in terms of like just top drives, cars that I really, really want, this would probably be at top 3. I don't want to say number 1 confidently, but this would be top 3. I mean, dude, I was talking to, I think someone was asking me how much money I spent on top drives. And I gave a really wild answer, which I genuinely think is true. I've spent at least $1,000 trying to get this, and I got it from a pack when I wasn't even trying to get it. So yeah, wide body. We've been through too much. We have been through too much, you and I, Mr. Widebody. You will always be a channel legend, a pain, everything in between. You're just amazing. Alright, moving on to some other cars I genuinely want. The SLS AMG GT. This is on the level of that GT3, okay? If I pull this car, expect me to get noise complaints from my neighbors above and below, because I want this. Oh, I wish I could show it to you, because in my little Hot Wheel cabinet behind me, I have the same car. It's the same car in the same color. I have a die-cast model. It's like a 118 scale, whatever it is. Same color, same spec, but I'm not wearing pants. So if I run over and get it, you will see things. I'm wearing underwear, but not that you needed to know that. Anyway, moving on. Change the topic. We've got the Viper SRT10, right? So I think this is like my unofficial number 1 from epics I want to get. This, or maybe the SLS, honestly. Those would be at the top. We've got the Challenger SRT Superstock. I pulled this before. I pulled this twice. Honestly, if I pulled that a 3rd time, I might still scream and shout. That's how much I freaking love that thing, actually. Little mini little demon. Julia Quadrifoglio. Yes, this will be a wonderful, wonderful day when I unpack this car. It used to be a legend. It went down to an epic. It's an OG car. Been in the game since the very beginning. I have never pulled this car before. Never, not once. I love the Giulia Quadrifoglio. I mean, if you know me, I love saloons. I've always got a soft spot for saloons, for estates, and this is no different, man. That is the Italian E63, and it's so freaking sick. And I would totally buy it if the E63 didn't exist. Ford Mustang GT4 is up next. Oh, and obviously the Charger Hellcat, right? Ford Mustang GT4. Something about this car really makes me sing. I love it. I got this very early on in American Frontier. I never needed to wish for this car because I got it on like the first day of American Frontier. But there's something about this car that it has an aura to it. It was like the first Top Drives epic that surpassed like 101 handling. It was the highest, handling epic at the time, and it was crazy, back when Top Drives didn't have many cars, many epics that would go over 100, handling. This thing kind of broke that limit, Obviously, we have the Charger SRT Hellcat, Red Eye Wide Body, the Giulia, the E63, some of my favorite saloons to ever exist, and of course, the brand new G80 BMWs. Woo! Let's talk about that. M3 competition saloon. I'm not including the M4, honestly, just the M3. It is, oh my goodness, I'm so happy I pulled 2 of these. One I think was Christmas collection. I forgot what the other one was for. But this was, oh no, I remember what it was for. No, I don't remember what it was for. Never mind. What I was thinking of was this one. I pulled this for the Hennessy final. But yeah, this is just gorgeous. Like I said, 2 really controversial things I love. Friday headlights, big ass grills. Big ass G80 grills. Those are sexy to me. I think that they are very beautiful. Here's another one, Porsche 924 Carrera GTP. Those rims, man. Those deep dish Chicago pizza rims. They remind me of training cones when I was playing soccer, when I was training for soccer. Charger SRT Hellcat Red Eye Wide Body. Another one. I mean, saloons, man. Saloons. I know a lot of people are like, wow, you barely wish listed a Challenger. And you're right. It's just a super stock in the wide body. Everything else is a little. There you go, Giulia GTAM. Here's another one. I'm very lucky to pull 2 of them already, so I don't think I'll be celebrating at a 3rd, but I definitely celebrated on the 3rd, on the 1st. Porsche 911 RSR 3.8. I pulled this with Giselle hell. What a fantastic day that was. 911 GT2, still waiting for this. This used to be a legendary. It went down to an epic. Still never pulled that before. And I think we're wrapping things up now. There are not many cars left on this super big wish list of epics that I love the most. We got the Cadillac CT4 Blackwing, which again, I have pulled twice. So, you know, even on the second time, I wasn't even celebrating that much anymore. But on the first time, yeah. Aston Martin Vantage, absolutely love this one. Oh, here's another controversial point. A lot of Aston Martin purists did not like the 2019, 2018 Vantage grille. And that's why you see in the newer Vantages, they've got their regular grills again with the lines, you know? I loved this bold approach, this naked grille approach. I think it fit the car really well. It looked like it had a really big mouth, but like in the best way possible. It reminded me of like a whale shark, just like, ooh, I like it. It doesn't look like it's the meanest car in the world, but it's a very beautiful car, and it's basically just an AMG GT anyway. So, you know, going back to those Mercedes roots, you know what I mean? Of course, we got the butt. We've got the butt. I mean, this is the whole reason why I made today's video, man. The butt. And I think that's it. I think there might be like one other car. I feel like there's one other car. Yeah. Z06X. Two other cars. ZL11LE. Yeah, I mean, that was a prize car. This thing was my most wanted epic prize car. And I guess you can say that it is still my most wanted or my most prized epic possession. And yeah, that's genuinely it. I mean, I'm not really interested in this. I don't like the little quirky police car liveries that they have in top drives. I couldn't care less. Even if they brought in like the Dodge Charger Pursuit, for example. Just not my cup of tea, you know? But anyway, guys, that's gonna be it for today. We got about 34 epics that I just 35, I think, 36 epics that I just absolutely love. This is like the perfect epic hand for me. Like, if we didn't need to think about Tri-Series, if we didn't need to think about events, if it was just a collection of cars that I absolutely cherished, this would be it. Honestly, this would be it. This is as sentimental as it gets, and I really enjoy making videos like this because I just get to share a part of myself and my tastes with you guys as well. When it comes to cars that I do not own, they're not many, man. They're not many. Not owned, 13 cars. 13 cars. So if you don't like my over dramatic, you know, in quotation marks, because I'm not being over dramatic, that's just me. If you don't like those reactions, you won't need to see them too often, because when it comes to epics, they're only going to be 13 more times you're going to see it. Anyway, guys, that's going to be it for today. Hope you guys have a great day. You're going to stay safe, wash your hands, and blossom out. Peace.
Bro, this song just makes me so happy.
Me too.
Imagine being Asian in the 50s, looking nifty, leather jacket, looking sleek, look like Presley, look so deadly. Got a jukebox back at home, feeling jazzy, turn it on and play it slow, like the movies with the ladies.
They so fine.
Imagine being Asian in the 50s, looking nifty, leather jacket, looking sleek, look like Presley, look so deadly. Got a jukebox back at home, feeling jazzy, turn it on and play it slow, like the movies with the ladies.
They so fine.
Sit back, relax in my Bonneville Pontiac. Hold tight all night, cruise to Jacksonville,
Atlantic.